Welcome to the very first episode of Narratives, Numbers, and Nonsense. This is where gut takes meet real numbers, and the sports world never sleeps. I'm Tommy, and that's Gabe. Before we dive in, we want to introduce ourselves real quick to you guys. So I'm Tommy Shuley. As you can see, I'm a long-suffering yet loyal Carolina Panthers and Charlotte Hornets fan. I've ridden every high and every low this team can put you through, but I still show up every Sunday with playoff hopes. My lane on the show is to give you a deep look at the NFL, the playoff picture, matchups, and what teams are actually doing week to week, as well as the inside scoop of the NBA as the season starts to ramp up.
And I'm Gabe Bradley. I'm the numbers guy from Los Angeles. But I hate LA teams when I rep the Bay Area. I'm a lifelong San Francisco Giants fan and Pablo Sandoval appreciator, as well as a fan of the 49ers, the Warriors, and the Vancouver Canucks because the San Jose Sharks suck. I build out data models across sports, compile metrics, and I like to analyze trends and look at sports through more of a numbers and statistics lens, which is how I always have done it. And this brings more of a data driven perspective that will help us understand, why things make sense, why they don't, as opposed to just the eye test, as well as kind of poke holes in what model is exposed as wrong that the eye test might actually have as true. So it's going to give us both sides of the story between me and Tom and how we look at sports. So each week we want to make sports more enjoyable for you. That's the ultimate goal. And you'll get our perspectives on team futures, the storylines that matter, the analysis that's worth your time. We're going to give our games of the week. We're going to give some hot takes. We're going to call out fraudulent teams, fraudulent players flying under the or teams flying under the radar that might be, due for success that we think the market might be underrating. And this is going to help you get a better understanding of what deserves attention and how to look at it in an analytical way. So the backbone here is simple. We watch a ton of sports. We argue about it the same way we always have. We were college roommates. All we do is watch ball, talk ball, and argue ball. But now we're going to bring receipts. I'm building complex models in the background that are going to help us grade players, context, teams, and markets. But it's not here to sell locks. It's here to surface spots and storylines worth debating, like I said. And that's going to act as a pressure test against our eye test, our discussions, and our common sense as sports fans. So at the end of the day, you're going to get picks and leans where we have them, but the point is ultimately the breakdown. Why do we like something? Why do we not like something? What could blow it up? And what is keeping us from not betting certain things? If you bet, great. If you don't, you're still going to leave understanding sports in these important games better. But that being said, we're going to dive into a quick game before we get into the slate. So, the way that this game is going to work is it's going to be sort of a blind resume, but usually where you get two players and you want to decide who's better before you guess who they are. Instead, here it's going to be two sports from the same city in the same season. So for Tom, he's going to be guessing an NFL and an NBA player, and these stat lines are going to be from the same city. So for example, it could be a Cowboys and Mavericks player or an Eagles and Sixers player. So I'm going to give him the two guys' stat lines, some basic stats, and then he's going to ask some questions and try to narrow it down. All right. So your first guy is a NFL wide receiver. He had played all 17 games and had 10 touchdowns. His longest reception was 97 yards.
Okay.
That's your first player. Your second player is going to be an NBA player who is a guard, and he averaged a 62 games, 26 minutes, 11.7 points, 3.7 rebounds, and 3.6 assists. So a pretty kind of bench guard type of player we've got here. 11-3-3, 26 minutes. 62 games, only started 10 of those 62. That's another key point.
Okay. Well, all right. So this is a most likely a wide receiver one on their team, bench guard. Um, was this season in the past 3 years?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, is this NFL player in the NFC?
Yes.
Okay, NFC player, past 3 years. Um, this is a coast player. Like, is their division on a
No.
coast?
No, they're not on a
Okay, no,
coast.
no. NFC, East or West. Um, is this um basketball player? Has he ever been a all-star? All right, never been all-star. Rotational player, only started 10 games. 1133. Puts in some work. All right. Is this NFL team um in the NFC North?
Yes.
Okay. So my first thing is, hey, Justin Jefferson. He probably had a 97-yard catch, but I don't think so. Minnesota. Okay. Bears, no way. There's no way a Bears player had a 97-yard catch. Is this season last season?
Yes.
Okay. 2024 season. 97 yards. Um, is he a Packer?
No.
Not a Packer. Not a Bear. Uh, is this uh quarterback that's throwing this wide receiver? Is he still on the team right now? Okay, so
What?
it's
Now I
it's
see.
it,
Yeah, that was the right
yeah.
question.
So it's Sam Darnold. Um, so yeah, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, you got Jettas. There you go. You had to
All
get
right,
that one
Jettas.
there because you were getting narrow there. All right, there
Yeah,
you
yeah,
go.
yeah. So
Okay, so we're in
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
We're talking about Timberwolves. Is this player over the age of 30?
No,
No. Okay. Um, is he taller than 6'6"? Okay, so he's a little guy. Not a little guy, but he's not that tall. Um, has he been on this team for longer than 5 seasons?
no.
Okay. Uh, who's on the Timberwolves? Thinking Alexander Walker. I'm thinking um not the Ant-Man. This guy comes off the bench. He started 10 games. Is this Dante?
Dante, DiVincenzo, and Jay Jettas. There you go. That was pretty solid. It's pretty solid. Jay Jettas, you got that one quickly.
Mhm.
All right.
Gabe, this one is for you. So your first player, so running back, he played 15 games. He started 10 of them. He had 100 or 1,144 scrimmage yards and 10 total touchdowns. And then your basketball player played 70 games. He had 9 points per game, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, but this was the best season he's had in his career.
Wow. Okay, this is good. I'm gonna start with football. Are we in the NFC North?
No,
Okay. Is this in the last three seasons?
no.
All right. This is interesting then. Ooh, 9-6-1, but best season. Let's get the NBA guy down. Is this guy in the West?
Yes.
Okay, we're in the West. Is he playing on a coastal state? So California,
No, no.
Washington, Oregon. Okay. And then back to NFL. So he's not in the NFC North, and I haven't really guessed anything about him. He only started 10 games, but played 15. But had okay. Was the other running back on this? Did the other running back on this team have more than 500 scrimmage yards? I know that might take you a
I,
second to
I,
look up,
I'll look it up, but I don't believe so.
and I'll think of another question while you look that up because I want to know if this. So this guy's probably the clear RB1. That helps even if you don't know for sure. So we got a clear RB1 who's not getting crazy production. We're not in a coastal state. We're on the western side. So this lines some things up. Are we in the AFC?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so I'm thinking Broncos, Raider. He's got Chiefs kind of written all over him. He's getting
He
touchdowns.
had,
They don't have
he,
basketball
he
teams.
did have more, the backup running back did have more than 500 scrimmage yards.
Okay. So the backup running had more than 500. It can't be the Chiefs or the Raiders because they don't have NBA teams. It can't be It can't be the Chargers because they're in LA. Sorry. So the Chargers and the Broncos, it could be for the purposes of this. What other teams would be in the West in the NBA that have football teams? Not OKC. Okay, so we got a pretty narrow gap here. It's not in the last 3 years. Is it in the last 5 years?
Yes.
So 4 or 5 years ago. Okay. This is kind of a knowledge hole for me. I gotta dig deep. On the NBA. Are the Bucks? No, they're in the East. So we got Minnesota is in the West. It would be funny if you were in Minnesota, but that's not in the NFC. That's the NFC. Okay, are we in Denver?
We are in Denver.
There we go. I was circling it for too long. I had to
Yeah,
say it.
circling.
Um, it's not Dion. Wait, best season of his career. Is this guy still in the NBA?
He was in the NBA last year. I don't know if he's still in the NBA now.
Dario Saric?
No.
I was like,
He's
as
got a Hall of Fame name too.
JaVale McGee?
No.
Was he on the Nugs though? And he had to have a better season than
Yeah,
961.
yeah.
Fucking hell, man. You got me stumped right now. I might not be able to get this one. Oh
We'll give
shit.
you 3 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, toss me a hint for anything, either one that
All right.
might get me
Um,
because this is
this running back um was well known on a different team.
okay. Was that team in the same division?
Yes.
Was it the Chargers? Is it
Yes.
LT?
No.
Fuck. Is it I gotta get back to the NBA real quick. Maybe I got a lead there, but I think you've got me stumped. You might have to reveal it soon. I think you've got me stumped.
We got 2 minutes left.
So,
Um, this basketball player, his dad was pretty good.
okay, that's big. Okay. Is this basketball player white?
No.
So we've got non-white center whose dad was pretty good. Who played on the Nuggets. He's kind of a fucking bum, but he
His dad played on the Bullets
what
too.
was what was oh my god. Okay, dude, I feel like I know exactly who. I feel like I've been on this rabbit hole before. Who what did you say about him being in the league again? He's not in the league anymore, or
I don't think he's in the league
he's
anymore.
like rostered veteran who
Yeah, yeah.
doesn't touch the floor. Okay, like
He was on the Suns last year too.
he's like DeAndre Jordan.
He's got 6 letters in his first and last name combined.
This guy's such a. It's not Bull. Bull? Bull? Bull?
Is Bull.
It's Bull?
It's Bull.
Oh, he was on the Nuggets. Oh my God! Wow, wow. That's because Manute Bull. Yeah, yeah, he was a beast, man. I've been on
On the
that.
on the Bullets, yeah.
It was coming to me. It was coming to me. He was on the
You'll get
Suns. Oh, I see. He's not in the NBA because he just fell off. Yeah, I didn't really pay
yeah,
attention too much. He's probably like G League or some shit. All right,
yeah.
damn.
He's the Suns
I
last
don't think
year.
I've got the running back though. You got who's the running back?
Melvin Gordon.
Oh my god, dude! I was literally just on a Melvin Gordon rabbit hole the other day, like at his
Yep.
college, looking at his college stats, and like that's yeah,
Yeah,
good one.
crazy that Bull's greatest season was 9 points and 6 rebounds.
Yeah, he never really did. Like
No,
he's a good defender, like rim
yeah,
crasher, but he never really did much. Yeah, that was a good one because I mean I couldn't really like I was onto it, but I just blanked on the name. I bet you a lot of people would get that one.
yeah. There's people
Bet.
screaming in the comments right now.
All right, let's jump into the first game we're gonna look at.
Yeah. So the first game we're gonna look at is the quarterfinals to the NBA Cup. It is at 10 p.m. tonight. Spurs versus the Lakers. So at first glance, I'm like, okay, clearly Lakers. They're favored 7.5 right now. But I think that could be a little bit of a trap line. Like, the Spurs right now have such a young roster. They got Vassell, they got Harper, they
Yeah,
got,
good guards, good
Fox.
guards.
Fox, who's been a great,
Pause.
addition to the team. Like, no Wemby is gonna be tough for them to get out rebound or to out rebound DeAndre Ayton, but I think they have a good chance. I would take an alt, Spurs plus 10.5 in the over. I think both these teams are very quick scoring teams. It's like a plus 150 thing or parlay. I think there's just some good quality upside to that. But
Yeah,
I
because
think the main guys are gonna go off tonight. I think Luka's gonna have a big, game. I like him to have 50 PRA or, a double-double. Double-double's at minus 180 right now. I feel like he could easily I mean, the points are never a thing to worry about, but I could easily see
yeah,
him
I'm gonna take a
getting
look at his
rebounds.
logs just to kind of see what that's looking like. But continue.
Yeah, I think Bron's gonna keep going after, that crazy streak just ended of him getting 10
Yeah,
consecutive points. I like him at
yeah,
30
he's
PRA
crazy.
as well. I think those 2 dudes are gonna go off. I think Fox could have a big game too. I think his production has gone up quite a bit recently. Um, he has just gotten consistently 20 points at least a game for the past, like, 6 or 7 games. And yeah, I mean, I like 30 PRA minus 200. He definitely has a decent upside with his assists, rebounds, you never know, but I think those 3 guys definitely have some upside with their PRAs.
LeBron, Doncic, Fox. Yeah, the bets, the bets.
Exactly, and for especially for the NBA Cup, when you're looking at it, like, these guys, like, it's a meaningless, like,
Yeah, wait. Do you
award to
know
win the cup.
anything about like like if the stats change or the defense? Is it like the playoffs? Like at the NBA Cup, is there meaningful stat changes? Do they play tighter rotations? I assume.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So
So
these
like,
guys will play, like, a decent amount. They'll have their average minutes, but probably a little more, and you get a incentive, and you get paid a little extra if you win the cup.
yeah, right. No,
So
there's incentive now for sure. They're playing.
mhm.
I'm
So I
looking
don't
at
know,
I'm
I
looking
feel like
at a
these
few
veterans.
things you said. Doncic double double caught my eye because I was like, oh, that's a pricey. Minus 180 is pricey because you need to hit about 65% of the time. But he had a triple double last game. He had a double double the game before, a double double the game before that, double double the game before that. Yeah, he's got 7 double doubles in a row. He's gone 11 for the last 13 on double doubles. I'm pretty sure. If I'm looking at
That's
yeah,
crazy.
so he's a fucking point monster. He's first in points, third in assists, 13th in rebounds. He's almost averaging a triple double. And I guess without Wemby, like what's to stop him from just doing his thing in an
Exactly,
important
because
game, in an
like, look at
important game
assists,
against a
like
good team.
yeah, like, look you're looking at assists, like, he's got so many outlets to throw to, and, like, the whole thing is like, okay, he get, like, 7 assists, you're like, "Oh, shoot," like, that misses the, double-double. But, yeah, without Wemby, like, you don't have that many big guys. Like, you've Kornet as your
Boards,
starting
yeah,
center.
boards is in, and his boards have been up recently. He's gone 15, 11, 12 his last three,
Yeah.
which is fucking
But
insane.
his board production has been, like, insane.
Yeah,
Like
and that's the other reason I like it is because you got rebounds and assists. He's actually switching off like how he hits, like so it's not like you're
mhm.
really relying on one stat to get it.
You're not
You can
subjected to one or
yeah,
the other, like
and he's not scoring less than 10 points unless he, God forbid, tears his ACL.
yeah,
So
exactly, exactly.
yeah, I really like that angle. Maybe that double double, but just two legged with something because you want to bring
I
that
think I think
first.
I think I think double-double with, Fox 30 at minus 30 PRA at
30
minus
PRA.
2 at minus 230 and
Yeah,
the
Fox.
over
I,
or
lo-
Spurs
I
plus
don't
10
love
and a half.
Fox's PRA because he's really inconsistent, and he's also playing in the like. I like his assists because if you're thinking that this game's gonna be faster paced and more of the younger Spurs guard identity than like the Wemby identity, and you've got the Lakers, so it's like Doncic, A. Reeves, LeBron, and just running all over the court, scoring whenever they want. We're thinking this is a fast-paced game, right? Which
Yeah.
means if Fox is the veteran that they're going to rely on to have the ball in his hands, I think he's going to be generating the assists. I think targeting his assists is like that, maybe even a high number, like take a shot at something, just have
Yeah,
him
yeah,
be
yeah.
like the production engine. I'm gonna look quickly at like what Vassell and other crew have been doing, but I think you're pretty right on the angle there. So wait, what's your so you've got a parlay for this or
Yeah. So I ran a bunch of stuff. Like I think Spurs money line, you could throw a little sprinkle on that. I was thinking at the 10.5, but like there's no point in placing that in a parlay and they get smoked, like blah blah blah. I think put like a couple dollars on their money line, like just because there's a chance. Like you have a young, hungry team, you want to win a cup.
yeah.
And like it doesn't mean anything for like future statistics, but you get more money in your pocket and like to showcase your skills. So I think maybe sprinkle on the money line. I love the over. I think fast paced by the young guys, fast paced by the veterans. I like your approach to Fox's assists. Probably the line is, let me check the line right now. The line
Yeah,
would
let me
probably
give
be
me the line on that. I'm just I
the
guess maybe it's like historical bias that I just like cannot see the Spurs as a 240 point team because it's so hard for me to like it's so hard for me to want to take the over. But it's the Lakers also, and like you got three guys who average 80 points combined on that team.
yeah.
So you're gonna have offense when they're
His
healthy.
his assist line is 5.5 at minus 140. Like
I
he's
don't
gotten
love
seven,
that
seven,
number.
no, neither do I. 7, 9, 5, 4, 4,
I
12.
I love
But I
more
kinda
the
like I kinda like his rebounds and assists though, that I'm looking at it. Just because he's gotten 4, 7, 5, 9, 5, 5, 1, 12. Like, I feel like that
Let me
because
look. I'm
especially
gonna
if
look
he's
at
playing.
what the Lakers are allowing to guards in terms of rebounds and assists, and the Lakers are allowing the least amount of rebounds in the league to point guards. It's because they've got massive guys. That's the problem with that, and they're allowing the most. Wow, crazy! Or they're allowing the fifth most assists. So I see what you're saying, but then when I'm thinking about matchups, you've got A. Reeves, LeBron, you've got these like guard, tall, forward, switchable guys on the late. You got Rui, like there's all kinds of guys. You know what I mean? That I
Yeah.
think are gonna shut down Fox's. I think it's gonna be like the Sohan, what is it? Barnes is grabbing boards. Harrison Barnes.
I think yeah. But
I
I don't
don't
know
even.
I don't know, that's what I'm thinking. I kinda like the 30 PRA then. Like, cause then if you're like, okay, somehow he gets 3 to 4 boards, which he's done in the past 4 straight games. He's gotten at least 5 assists in the past 4 games, and he's averaging, like, 24, 25 points in the past 4 games. And so if you, like, put that all together, like, him playing especially a high percentage of minutes for this game, I think getting 30 is not crazy. But I could also take like, you could also look at, like, the younger
Something
guys,
I
like
just found that makes me more convinced by your argument. So since the two games Wemby's gone out, Stefan Castle went from averaging like 30 minutes. He was getting 30 to 35 minutes and putting up like 10, 11, 13, 13 as assist numbers. He got
mhm,
16 minutes and 23 minutes these last two games. That's so they've dropped his minutes when they took him out. Vassell's still sitting at around the same. Fox is still sitting at around the same. So they're not redistributing the minutes like to Castle as much. I think they're redistributing it to allow Harper to develop a bit. And so like the whole guard thing is kind of a carousel outside of Fox. He's kind of the only guy who's sitting here getting 30 minutes every game.
yeah.
That being said, Harper's numbers the last four games, he's finally getting over 20 minutes for the first time this season since October, and then he's also averaging 6.566 assists. When before that he was on 0.230 in limited minutes in December. So what's his line at? Because that tells me, hey, this guy's
Harper
trending upwards. He's got
Harper's
usage. Yeah, Harper.
his
But the
point
public
line
line,
or
his assist line,
his assist line is 3.5.
I fucking love that. I mean, 6.656 in his last four games, playing 20 plus minutes. I don't know if there's any reason for him to be playing less minutes this game, but
Definitely not.
all
Yeah.
right. So I think we got a pretty good understanding of what the angles are here. I think to recap, you've got you've got a two leg on the over and the alt spread, or you're scratching that. You've got something else now.
I'm scratching the alt spread
All
just in
right. Let me know
case.
what you got
Uh,
to finish.
my two-legger, I think I like over and then Luca double double.
Over and Luca. All right. So we're gonna have some pretty similar plays. I'm gonna go slightly different direction. I'm gonna go with double double. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna ride with you here. I'm gonna ride with De'Aaron Fox, alt PRA, bring it down to 25, and then I'm gonna throw in Dylan Harper, straight bet 4+ assists, and I'd put a half a unit on 5+ at plus odds. That's what I'm liking for this game. You want to look, I'm saying you want at least minus 125 probably on whatever book for the 4+, and you're looking for at least plus 200, plus 180 for the 5+. So shop for those lines. Don't just jump on bad lines, but I think Harper's going to dish the rock. He's going to keep getting 25 minutes. I like Fox to facilitate and get assists. So, but I don't love the price on 5+. And I love the Doncic. I mean, I think he's getting a double double. If I were to bet anything on this game, it's put a straight bet on Doncic to get a double
Yeah,
double.
I think that's where we conclude.
All right. What's up next?
Is this
Is
your
this
your game?
All right, yeah. Let's talk about some college basketball now. So we're gonna look at the Wisconsin-Nebraska game that's tonight. It's kind of the only good game tonight. I don't really have any pick for this, but just kind of break down why I don't have a pick for it and kind of how I look at the college basketball game. So first, you got 7-2 Wisconsin coming into Nebraska. These are both Big Ten squads. These are both good squads. I'd put them in the 20 to 40 range if you want to be safe on where they're ranked. So these aren't top 25 competing squads, but they have potential, especially Nebraska, who started the year 9-0, except we'll get into it. Not as confident in that record as it looks. And then you've got Wisconsin, who's 7-2. It's taken a couple tough losses, but to the likes of BYU, a great basketball team, and TCU, who actually is better competition than any of the 9 teams that Nebraska's beaten. So what that's telling us is we've got Wisconsin, who's surging. They're playing good basketball lately. They just beat Marquette. They just beat Northwestern. And they blew out Providence, scoring 104 points a few weeks ago. So they're a hot offense. And they're coming into Nebraska, who's a super slow the game down, play the paint. They score the most points in the paint of any team in the country by percentage, and they allow the furthest average shot from the hoop of any team in the country. So essentially, they're going to jam the hoop and they're going to make you shoot threes. The thing is, Wisconsin likes to shoot threes, but they're not doing so very successfully. They're only shooting at 33%. So it feels like we've got a game where it's like, hey, we're going to let you chuck threes all day and maybe you'll figure it out. And the thing is, this Wisconsin team figured it out last year and scored like one of the best offenses we've ever seen in the history of college basketball at times. But this year they haven't. So it kind of is just telling me like we got no clue what to expect other than we know what the style is going to look like. I think Nebraska has shown a little bit of fraudulent defense recently, even though they're letting you shoot threes. And that's because when they let the opponent shoot threes, it leaves some things up to chance. And so they've gotten lucky, but they haven't actually played great defense from what I've watched. And I think that might bite them in the ass. And if Wisconsin can find their shot, they can put it away. So if I were to force an angle, it's to take the plus odds on Wisconsin, but the price is not good enough.
Would you ever consider the under
Ah,
158 and a
great
half?
question. Great. I was actually loving the look at the under at first, but there's also this weird thing that happens with Big Ten games where, and also what I was saying about how this could just turn into a chuck threes from distance game, where like they could get behind in the first half, and this is a big thing in college basketball that everyone has to recognize is that usually the second half has like 7 to 8 more points than the first half, fouling and other things,
Yeah.
and so Nebraska could go up 40-20 in the first half, and you could see the coldest thing from Wisconsin. The next thing you know, they scored 60 points in the second half because they were forced to just chuck threes, which Nebraska allows to happen, and could just jack up scoring. So to me, it's more of like this game's way too volatile because of the nature of the game. I mean, you literally have the closest to the fucking hoop team in the country, and they force you to shoot the furthest from the hoop,
Yeah,
and a
yeah,
team
yeah.
that fully embodies that play style on the other side. And it's like it's hard. It's not a. It's one you don't want to bet, but should be like fun to watch.
Okay, yeah. That's good analysis.
All right, what's up
All right.
next?
Uh, Thursday night football.
Oh, let's go. Big
So
stuff.
this is a very important game to me, not from just a betting or a analytical standpoint. It's more of a personal vendetta for me
All right.
So the Falcons are going to be at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Falcons right now out of the playoffs. I think they are 4-9. Bucks stand at 7-6. If the Falcons win this game, the Panthers will be in the front runner for the NFC South. So
Game for the
it is
Bucks.
a huge game for me, but also I think there's a lot of upside in this game. So when you're looking at especially a divisional matchup, even if a team has no reason to win the game, they've got no playoff hopes. It's still just a game where teams want to win against their divisional opponents, their divisional rivals. The Falcons and Bucks game, I'm pretty sure last year when Kirk Cousins was playing, he threw for a record. Not, I don't think it was a personal record, but he threw for like 500 yards, and it was like a crazy high scoring game. The over under is 43 and a half. It keeps going up and down. But from first glance, I think the over is a great bet to take. Currently the Falcons are the 14th ranked defense in the NFL, and their record does not correlate to that at all. They are the ninth best in pass yards. They average or they give up around like 190 pass yards. Their rush is one of the worst though. They're the 24th. They give up 131 and 11 touchdowns. So from just looking at that, I want to target Bucky Irving. He just came back from a crazy injury. He's been getting touchdowns past 2 games. I think his 80 rushing receiving at minus 160 is just a great play to take. Like I would be targeting rushing if it was just a very consistent rushing back.
Mhm.
But I think especially with Baker knowing that one of his best guys is back,
Yeah.
when he's under pressure, he's gonna dump it off to him and hopefully
Right.
take a yard. So I
Right.
think
And their
80,
pass rush is good, like you said. So yeah.
yeah. And then on the other side, Bucks defense has been atrocious. They're ranked 21st in the NFL, 27th in pass. They give up 237 yards per game to quarterbacks. But it's kind of like a flip flop. So the Bucks are 27th in pass, but their rush is eighth. They've only given up 100 yards per game. And so the Falcons ninth in pass, Bucks 27th in pass, and then Falcons 24th in rush, Bucks 8th in rush. So I think this is a game where Kirk Cousins comes out, throws to
Good
Kyle
King
Pitts and
is
Darnell Mooney.
back.
There's no Drake London, which is unfortunate for his
Right.
yards, but I think 200 at I think minus 110
For a
is
gunslinger
big.
who's going to be behind, yeah.
Exactly. A veteran gunslinger who's like just wants to prove he's still worth in this league. Like obviously he's not the
Like
starter
he
on the
just
team.
played
That's
Seattle,
dependent
so
though.
the 15 for 30, 160 is a fluke. Like that's a
Exactly, and they got killed that game, so there's no
kill.
point of even, like, trying
Absolutely.
to do that. So, I think, just this being a divisional game, I like the over at the first look. There's massive playoff implications for the Bucks, so I think they're gonna play hard. And like I said, on the other side, Falcons have nothing to lose,
It matters
and
for
they're
the
not gonna get.
coaching too. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, huge for the coaching.
right.
I think Raheem Morris is the coach.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of backfire
Lot
recently just with
lot
the
of
games they
fire.
played.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like you want your quarterback to play well so he doesn't get tossed out of the league or bounced around. You want your team to play well so your coach has at least a little life going to the next season. So I've developed a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 leg parlay. This is a
We got a banger already. Okay, let's
yeah,
go.
that's plus 1300.
One more thing. What was the
Um,
line? The line on the game is about minus 4.5, right? Yeah, minus
yes,
4.5. Okay.
4.5, and it's 44.5 for the over. So
I have
I
one
think
question. Do you
yeah.
do you think this could be a blowout? Like, do you think that could hurt the over? Like, we could see a 31-10 type of situation.
My thing is, like, I was thinking that at first, but I don't think so. Like, these divisional games with players needing to perform well for their future status in the NFL,
And Bijan's
like,
healthy, right? He's doing
Bijan's healthy, and,
okay.
like, the Bucks aren't that good of a team to blow out teams right
Yeah,
now.
no,
Like,
I agree with you.
they aren't
They're
playing
not the
confident.
Seahawks. Yeah, they're not the Seahawks.
They're not playing confident football right now where they have got, like, a strong reign on their playoff future. They're gonna have to find ways to win this game. And
Yeah.
like I said, the Falcons have nothing to lose. Like, they aren't gonna come in there, like, throwing their backups and give up again. And so my, 8-legger, It's 200 for Kirk. Um, I like Baker to pass for 2 passing touchdowns. My analysis on that is Mike Evans is back. Emeka Buka, I don't think he's gonna win Rookie of the Year, but he has to prove himself and prove to his team that he had a great start of the season,
Yeah, he was
kind of
awesome.
dipped off a little bit,
Right.
but he needs to prove himself that he is a valuable rookie for the Bucks. And Chris Godwin is having not a great season,
Yeah,
but
no, but
after his
he's
injury,
doing his thing after what
he's
happened.
starting he's starting to increase his production a lot. I think he had like 60 yards last game on 4 catches. And
He's
so I
getting
think with
catches, but
Baker,
not a ton of yards, I think.
yeah, but I think with Baker having Evans, Ibuka, Godwin, McMillan, you got Kate
Yeah,
Ott in
he's
the
got
mix.
the weapons. Yeah,
He's
yeah.
they're gonna have to sling. Like obviously the Falcons defense or pass defense has been good, but they've also let up
But their
21.
pass defense, hold up, their pass defense is, I think it's good because their edge rushing is so good, and
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
doesn't always correlate to that doesn't always correlate to being good at limiting explosive plays. That's your corners
Right.
and safeties, right?
Yeah,
So they could be forced to go for long shots and go for high yardage passing touchdowns because they're being under high pressure. Yeah.
exactly. So I think Kirk 200, Baker 2 passing, like Abuka for 40, Mike Evans for 3 catches, Mooney for 25 yards, Bucky 80 rushing receiving.
Who, who's in? What's the wide receiver room like without Drake London? You've got Moody's the
It's
two.
Mooney's the one
Yeah,
right
Moody's
now
the two.
with
He's the one
with,
now.
with London out, yeah.
Yeah, I guess because they don't have.
And
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
25 is
yeah.
so
That's so
low for
low.
him.
Is that like what's
Like
that though? Is that minus like?
it's minus like 200.
Oh, that's not bad, man. That's not bad.
No, no, no.
Oh, I
So
love that pick. Yeah, yeah, I love that pick.
Mooney for 25, Bucky 80 rushing receiving, Pitts for 40, and then a Bijan touchdown.
This kind of adds up to me. The only places where I'm kind of questioning your angle is Gabuka and what was your other receiver? McMillan. What'd you
Mike
have for
Evans for
McMillan? Oh,
three
Mike. What'd you have for
catches.
Mike Evans?
3 catches.
Three catches. Yeah, I mean, I like that. I think Igbuka's weird because I think you should, especially if you're gonna put two receivers. It's hard because it's like, can he sling to everyone? Even though the script might say he should, but they're gonna run the ball if we think they're gonna get ahead. So do you really think? Like, I'm not saying that it can't hit, but do you really think, like, given the risk in the parlay, that it's worth it to put Mike Evans and Igbuka together rather than straight betting one of them maybe to have a big game? You get what I'm saying?
Mhm. My Ibuka angle is just like he's been so consistent getting 40. Like last game, he didn't have a great game. He dropped 2 balls, which would have easily gotten his yards, but he's getting crazy targets too. Like obviously with Mike Evans coming back, there's gonna be a less target production for him.
Yeah,
Like he's
there's
gotten
so many
9 targets,
targets on this team. I see what you're saying.
9 targets, 8 targets, 8 targets, 9 targets, 13 targets.
13, yeah, wow.
And
Lot.
so and then with Mike Evans coming back, there's gonna be so much focus on him just being the savvy veteran he's been. So I think there's gonna be um, less, like, focus on Ibuka. So I think Ibuka could break out for, like, 2 catches for 40 yards or 3 catches for 40 yards. And
Yeah, I
I
like him
think,
to have
like
a big catch.
yeah, exactly, exactly. That's the same thing with
Yeah,
why I'm taking Mooney as
I
well.
see what
I
you're
think
saying.
Mooney can get that 1
I'm
catch.
actually on the opposite side of Mooney. I think my favorite pick from anything we've come up with is to take two or three receptions. I don't know what his line is. I gotta look at it, but I see
I
the
think I
yards. But look how
I think it's
consistent his receptions have been, and he's only got a better opportunity.
yeah,
Let me
it's
see.
3. It's 2.5.
Yeah, I see that. I'm taking two as the parlay piece and probably straight betting three. Right. I think
Yeah,
that's my
I
favorite thing you've said is a straight bet angle. I like the parlay. I like a lot of the parlay legs. I mean, Baker to get two. My thing, I have a personal. I'm gonna just explain like why I don't put passer touchdowns in parlays because it's about like the statistical nature of this of the number. Think about a number that you need to get one, two, three, or four, right? So putting things like picks, putting like passer touchdowns, anytime touchdowns in parlays is tough because it's a smaller set of events. Like yards you rack up over time, right?
Yeah.
And so it's less driven by chance. So it's kind of like in hockey, like you could shoot fucking 7 shots at the goal, but you won't score a goal. So
Hmm.
it's like separating the shots on goal from the goal, is how I think about it. And that's why I don't really like to put 2 touchdowns in a parlay,
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
I think he's gonna throw for 2 touchdowns, so I'm not gonna like knock you on that one. I kind of like everything in this parlay, except Igbuka, I prefer a straight bet just on his over 44.5. Like that's a good number, man. If he's gonna
Yeah.
get a long catch, he's gonna get 2 or 3 catches. I think he'll get.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to say this as like a home run, like easy thing to happen. I think it's more of just like
Yeah,
what
what's
I'm kind
this
of feeling
paying
towards
out?
this
This has
game.
got to be it's got to be juicy.
It's plus 1400.
Plus
So it's
1400.
nothing
Yeah, that's pretty good.
nothing crazy, but I just think and most of these work together. Like with Kirk having 200, with Mooney 25 and Pitts 40. And Pitts has been on a tear. Like my thing, I kind of do agree with you. I might switch Mooney 25 to 2 catches.
Yeah,
I think Pitts 40 is also a great thing to take because Pitts has been getting like crazy long receptions too.
right.
I think last game he had 90 last game on six
I mean, he's
catches. The
gonna
game
be
before
the
he had
he's
seven.
gonna be the wide receiver one essentially. Yeah.
I'm saying and his long is so good. He had 30-yard catch, 24-yard catch,
Oh
23-yard
shit.
catch.
Is that an angle? I was about to say let's wrap up, but let's look at the Kyle Pitts
Yeah, I think
long
Kyle Pitts'
reception.
longest reception could also be like a
What's the
good thing to look at.
questionable situation? He's just like eternally questionable or what?
What do you mean?
It says he's questionable.
I feel like they just put that a lot. Like he maybe
Yeah,
not
like is
practice
he
today.
injured? Okay, wait,
I
what's
don't
the
think
line?
he's
What's the line? Because if it's anything below 18 and a half, I'm all over it. But it's probably not.
his
Probably like a
line
27.
is 20 and a half.
20 and a half is pretty fucking low. Yeah,
Yeah.
All right, I'm on that. I'm on that, Tom. That's a great pick. I like it. All right, so just quickly wrap up. What's your lay? And then I'll give what I'm going to
Yeah.
go with.
Quickly wrap up. I think some straight bets should be the over 44 and a half. Pitts over 20 and a half. I like Mooney at 40 receiving yards at plus 120 as a straight bet as well. I think those three to put a couple dollars on is probably worth it. But my parlay is 200 Kirk passing yards, Baker to throw for 2 touchdowns, Abuka 40 receiving yards. Could move it down to 25. I'm fine with that. That'd probably put it down to like plus 800 or something like that.
Mhm.
Mike Evans for 3 catches, Mooney for 25 receiving yards or 2 catches, whatever you prefer. Bucky 80 rushing receiving, Pitts for 40 and Bijan touchdown.
All right, I like it. I think I'm going to go with, you know what? I'm seeing plus 110 for his over 3.5 receptions.
From who?
Mike Evans, I that's good enough. I you might be
Oh,
convincing me. You might because that's where you want to see value is when you're looking at something that's kind of iffy. Then it's like, hey, I want to play the number. I'm not necessarily playing the script because I don't know the script. I want to play the number. And DraftKings is hanging plus 105 right now, so that's money. I like that. So I go plus 105 on that. I trail your pick is kind of a straight bet. And then I'm gonna go with the Pitts over 20 and a half longest reception. That's money. I love that. If you can find a 19 and a half, do
and
it.
that's huge. Yeah.
Shop. But yeah, that's what we got for that. All right. All right. So we're gonna be looking forward to Saturday. I've pinpointed kind of the main game that's on everyone's radar for Saturday, which is Arizona, the number one team in the country, versus Alabama. I was gonna say at Alabama because this is kind of a tricky one. So it's technically a neutral site, but these teams played in an exhibition that was it's two-sided. So they played in Phoenix 2 years ago, and Arizona won 87-73, and now they're playing in Montgomery. So although it's not technically a home game for Alabama, it's kind of a home game from Alabama, and that I think is going to matter here a little bit because these are two great teams who have pretty contrasting styles. Even though they both ramp up the scoreboard and play at a fast pace, they facilitate their offenses very differently. And Alabama is ranked about 15th, I think, in the country, and Arizona is ranked first. So I think there's a little bit of just subtle rankings bias in the public looking at this game because it's such a big game. I think these teams are a little bit closer and kind of land in the same 5th to 10th best in the country range. I don't think Arizona is the best team in the country. I'm not fully bought in yet, even though they're playing their lights out. And Bama is always a team that can kind of go cold because of the way they play. They've been one of the fastest teams in the country. They love to shoot the mid range. They're really good at it. And they love to shoot the 3 pointer, but they're also shooting it fast with volume and well because this year they've got sophomore guard LeBaron Phelan who's averaging 21 points a game and has covered 20 I think in 7 of the last 10. So there could be an angle to kind of just look at him as a player prop to just go absolutely off on Saturday. I'm not sure the lines are out yet for this game, but I'm assuming it's going to be I think it's going to move a little bit in Alabama versus the neutral court line because the neutral court line will probably be -2, -3 because Arizona's favored. But because this is kind of a home game, I'm thinking it could be really a pick 'em or like -1.5. And also the fact that Arizona's been worse than underlying metrics show in their away from home games. And I know it's a small sample, but they've actually been one of the worst in the country relative to away from home game expectation, even though they're the number one team in the country. So they're traveling into a rowdy Alabama environment who's going to shoot the lights out, who's got a guard who's on fire. And I think this game's just going to have a shit ton of scoring. We're going to have like 90 to 80. And I think Bama, if LeBaron Phelan can be kind of aware and present and not be kind of that young guard who makes mistakes and can facilitate against this big Arizona team, I think Alabama's probably the angle. If they're hanging plus 120 to plus 140, if somehow Arizona's grabbing -2.5, -3 for some reason, I would jump on Alabama because I don't think by the time this line closes, it should probably be about a pick 'em.
I mean, this game's on Saturday.
Yeah, this game's on Saturday, and I mean you've got Arizona is second in field goal percentage, 24th in 3 point percentage, 45th in mid range. Green lights across the board. You got Bama's taking some of the most field goals per game. You've got fifth in the country in pace with Bama. You've got 30th in the country in pace in Arizona out of 340 teams. High pace, high percentage shooting, and they also both have super high second chance conversion, which means they're crashing the offensive glass and putting points back up. So we're going to see a lot of possessions, compounding offense. I'm scared to say, hey, let's take an over because they're going to lay some ridiculous line like
Yeah,
175 and a
that's
half
the first thing I
probably.
was thinking about. That sounds like an
And
over.
I'm always the guy who takes the under in those because the numbers tell you to. But
Hmm.
sometimes pace compounds in a way that turns a game like this, if the shooting gets hot, into a serious shootout. And so another angle could be if you're really looking for anything plus 125 to plus 150 where you can kind of be like, hey, this team's going to score a lot of points maybe. So Bama 90 plus team total could be a plus odds angle. That's kind of what I'm looking at here. Even Arizona, if you want to take the Arizona side, but I'm fading them. I think Bama's going to take care of business.
That makes sense.
All right. Yeah, I'll let you get into NFL Sunday and what's going on.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that. So yeah, this weekend has a lot of good games. A lot of storylines to be told about how the playoff picture is about to shape up, about certain teams who I think are fraudulent, certain teams are under the radar, what we talked about in our intro. So just to go off on the start, Bills at Patriots. Two obviously massive playoff caliber teams. The Patriots sit at 11-2. The Bills sit at 9-4. The Bills have the second wild card seed currently, and the Patriots are firmly in the driver's seat for the NFC East. Still, there's time for games to change, for seedings to change. I personally think this is going to be a really good game. Like I said, for the Falcons Bucks, I love divisional games, and especially for two teams where this game matters for playoff implications. I'm taking the over again. The over is at 50.5, but I can't pick a winner for this game, but I think the Bills are gonna come out slinging early on. I think it's gonna be a high-scoring game. I think it's a great opportunity to see
Spread?
these 2 teams play out. The spread, I think, is, yeah, it's a pick 'em. It's like, the
Oh,
Bills are
wow.
favored 1.5.
So they think the Bills are the better team still, the market.
Yeah.
Fuck, I wanted to be all over the Bills, but the market had me, man, it had
Yeah,
me
yeah,
covered.
yeah. So that's why, like, I couldn't pick one. I feel like it's just, like, the
I
lines are
don't I
too
don't like this over at all. I'm
I
looking
don't
at
know,
this
dude.
New England defense is legit, man. And the way my problem is the way that Vrabel coaches games runs clock, slows games down. That's my problem. Like he's got
Yeah,
that
yeah, and
mindset to how he coaches. He's allowed 15, 20, 14, 23, 23, 13, 13, 19, 20, 13, 14. The most points that they've allowed this season is 27. So if you were to
who's that
just double,
who's that
that
against?
was to the Dolphins in week 2.
Right, yeah, and I understand from that, but, that's when they have the driver's seat, like, fully in control early on.
Yeah.
Like, they
They're
play
not
teams like I think they played, what, the Giants last week, and, like,
Yeah,
they
33-15.
scored what was it, 33-15?
Yeah. Yeah, so the
Yeah.
one time it went over 50 and a half was 4 weeks ago, Tampa Bay, a team that you're talking about in a similar way to Buffalo. Offense good, fraudulent defense. That was 51 points, so I mean that would have hit. That was an offense. And then Miami, and then Carolina was 42 to 13, so that was 55
Well,
points. Now it's close to home, but
that wasn't Bryce Young wasn't playing that game,
I
so
don't know. I
I don't
mean, I don't know. I'm not riding with that over personally, but I like the
I
breakdown for the game. I think that's definitely the game to watch. I'm excited for that. I
think
agree with you that I don't really know which side to take,
regardless
but I'm
of
leaning
the
the over.
over, I think it's gonna be a good game to watch. I
Yeah,
agree, like, the
I
over
g-
is high, and, like, I guess, like, the Patriots haven't let up that many points with their defense, but I just think they do that when they're in the driver's seat, and I think in this case, the Bills are gonna be in the driver's seat early on, and the Patriots are gonna have to play a little catch up. So I think they're gonna have to play a quicker, fast-pacer offense to catch up to the Bills, and so I think that's why the over is, like, that high.
I would I would consider it definitely maybe with an alt into a parlay because I agree with. I do not see this game being like some low scoring shit show.
Yeah, like
My problem is 50
2013.
and a half points. Like it could be 20. It could very well be 27-23. Right?
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
27-20, and that's a good
yeah,
game.
yeah.
Or 21-20 if the defenses play well. That's obviously too low. But like dropping it all the way to like a minus 400, minus 500 is not worth it because you literally statistically are not going to go under. You're going to have outliers that are going to go under that number more than 20% of the time. So I've trying to figure out like what the number because 50 and a half is too much for me. I think like 45 and a half, 46 and a
I was
half.
about to say that. 46 and a
That's
half. I
about
think.
minus, but is that what's that paying? Let me look really quick. Is that minus 250, minus 300? Because yes, I think it's going. If we're looking at the math, I think it's going to go over
46
45
and a half is
points.
minus 188.
Ooh, they're not. Yeah, they're not very sensitive to the points. I love.
Or
Okay.
if you're thinking about a 44 and a half minus 230, I
No, I
think
love
yeah,
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Minus 230 is about 20. That's like 70%. So
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think there's not more than 30% of games that go under 45. I think
I
it's
agree.
just like some random. Yeah, I definitely think this is a. I just think 50 and a half is too much to lay.
Yeah.
And is that a?
The more
But
you're saying it, I agree with that. I think you should do an alt 44 and then toss in like a certain player prop or something like that.
yeah,
And then
so yeah, let's. I guess keep that open ended. Minus 230 for 44 and a half. Go shopping for like whatever you like in that game. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
something like
that's a good game. So any other games you looked at, or is
yeah,
that
no,
kind
no,
of it?
I got a bunch more. Um, just another storyline. AFC North, kind of open season in my eyes. Like,
Yeah,
the
yeah, for
Bengals,
sure.
the Bengals at 4-9 aren't statistically out of the race yet. If they win this
Are
game, they
we
have a
gonna get a
5%.
return of last year, the like Bengals legacy down the stretch?
Like with Joe Burrow coming back, like they did lose to the Bills, they almost came back and won that game. They're playing the Ravens this week, who I think are fraudulent. Lamar Jackson is not playing his best football right now. The
Yeah,
team,
I don't know about
they're
fraudulent, but they're not what they should be. Yeah,
not fraudulent, but he's not playing to his
yeah,
MVP
yeah,
caliber
yeah.
that people think he
Yeah,
is.
totally
Their
agree.
defense is also Swiss cheese. Like, it is, like,
Yeah,
holes for
it's got
days,
holes. It's got holes everywhere.
holes everywhere. And so I don't know. I think that's also a good game to target. It's also a high over. Like with these divisional games I've been talking about, they're always a high over. I like a lot of player props in that game. I like Jamar Chase to torch the Ravens like he always does.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I think the AFC North has a lot of opportunity. The Steelers are playing the Finns on Monday Night Football. It's also a very close game. I think it's like 3.5 spread. The Finns also have a chance to make the playoffs. I just think there's a lot of talk about, oh, the Steelers are going to win this week and the Ravens win next week, like just those two teams. I think the Bengals have a chance to not necessarily win the division, but to showcase that, hey, we had
Like,
Joe Flacco for
yeah,
a
to
little
do
bit.
what
We
they
had Jake
did,
Browning
basically.
for a little bit. Like, now
Yeah.
we have Joe Burrow, who's been to
Hmm.
a Super Bowl, who's done so
Just
much for the
remind
team.
remind their locker room and that they're a like that they have something next season. That this isn't about
Exactly, exactly.
the
It's the
Joe
same thing with
Burrow
the
bust campaign. You know.
exactly. It's the same thing with the Falcons that I was talking about. The Falcons are out of the playoffs, but the Bengals are still have a chance to make the playoffs. So I think Joe Burrow is thinking to his guys like, "Hey, we got a lot to work on next season, but we still have time to maybe make some magic happen." So
So to
my
look
thing is
at
just the AFC North has a bunch of good teams with bad records right now, and I think anything can happen right now.
so just to look at that game at a few numbers that we have right now. Jamar Chase, they know what's coming. His line's 91 and a half. So I'm not taking that. I really like. I think he's gonna have 100 yards, but I'm not. I can't take his over 91. But what I'm loving, and I don't know if you're gonna disagree with me here, is
Talk to me.
I know the Cincinnati Bengals rush defense is atrocious, but Derrick Henry's line is 90 and a half, and he's only covered that 4 times this season, and that's when he goes off. And if they're playing a competitive, like it's not. We're not seeing the just give the ball to Derrick Henry and run all over the other team Ravens. Like it just feels like too many yards to for minus 110, 90 and a half. So I'm definitely leaning under 90 and a half looking at
I
Derrick
like
Henry.
that. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's pretty good for the. I mean, are you on any side there? I don't like 2.5. I'm not buying, but maybe like 3.5 or 4.5 in a parlay. Or are you just too scared of betting on this 4-9 Bengals or a money line?
Yeah. I don't know either. I think this could also be a good place to do 45 and a half and 45 and a half in the Bills game. Do a two-legger at like plus 120. I think both of these games have the chance of going over because, like I said, these are both two teams in the
Yeah.
same division looking
I
to
was actually about
make
to
the
bring the
playoffs.
opposite take. I was going to go under
Under?
51 and a half.
No, no, yeah,
Ravens
yeah.
Bengals could get ugly, man. It could get ugly. Could get in the
That's true.
trenches. The Bengals don't play
That's
in the
true.
trenches. I don't know what I'm talking about. But the
But yeah,
Ravens can play in the trenches. I, here, this is not really something I'm betting though, but I think like the idea is if you're on the under here, I would go on. I would bet like minus 6.5 Ravens and under 51 and a half because I think that's the script where it's like they just come
yeah,
in,
yeah,
take care of
yeah.
business, run the ball. They play Ravens football, and Joe Burrow is throwing for 300 yards but can't get anything done with it because the Bengals are making too many other special teams defensive
Mistakes.
O line
Yeah,
mistakes that are taking away yards. So
yeah, I
I
agree.
see that. So if you want to go under, I'm on the Ravens, but I agree that if the Bengals come out and play like you think they might, this is an over target game. This is a 38-35 legacy Bengals, especially
Exactly.
with the Ravens defense being worse than ever, and we've already had those games in the past. So I see what you're saying. I think it depends on what side you think. If you think the Bengals are going to come out, yeah.
Yeah, so I think yeah, especially if the over is definitely a little too high. I think maybe for the Bills and Patriots and the Bengals Ravens, I think target some player props there. Like obviously
Yeah.
Jamar is too
Good
high.
games for player props, competitive, potential answer.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Competitive,
Those would be
close
great
game.
for once the
Yeah.
lines are more out. Yeah. Any
Yeah.
other Cleveland, Chicago, is it Chargers, Kansas City? Is that you got anything for that? And then Indianapolis. There's some good
Yeah. So
games. Green Bay,
I got
Denver.
two games that I also in addition that I think good player props could occur. I think Lions Rams is a classic. Like
Yeah,
I
it's a
think
great
you going back, you got
55 and a
Stafford
half
and Goff,
total.
classic flip
Yeah.
flop. Where they were on each other's teams. They're also in the driver's seat to pursue playoffs. Um the Lions have a great chance to they're in the Lions are in the hunt right now, which is crazy.
Hmm.
They're not
Hmm.
in the playoffs right now.
Right.
It's another team where, hey, I gotta make the playoffs right now. I have a crazy good team. I love I love Stafford to go out slinging against his old team. I think I've no specific lines or specific
Passing
over
yards are
unders to
high because
target.
I'm looking at passing. He's got passing yards are 270 for Stafford and 247 for Goff, just to give some
I like
context.
I like I like the
I like
classic
250
combined.
each,
I like
500
combined.
combined.
I like 500 combined. Yeah. But
It's probably minus 150 at
nothing
160.
nothing specific. I think just like these are good games to look at player
Yeah, just
props
look,
because they're gonna be
there's going to be
close games.
slinging. Look for try to find maybe niche stats or something that
Niche
says,
stats
hey, take this slot
combined.
receiver on the Lions.
Yeah,
Look for slinging in that game, obviously.
exactly.
And I
Combine three
think
or four of them at minus odds.
if it's paying better than like plus 150, I don't know. 250 yards each doesn't hurt because Goff's line's lower, and yeah, the
Yeah,
Lions run the ball more, but I kind of think the Rams are a better team and
yeah,
are winning this game. Are winning this game, especially after the disappointment in Panthers, and then they just came out and blew the fucking lights out of Arizona. Like they're
yeah,
rolling.
exactly.
Stafford's thrown for 23 touchdowns in his past 7 games, so he's averaging over
Yeah,
3 a game. I
crazy.
mean, yeah, he's lights out. So I like that.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a good game to target
I also like Vikings Cowboys to target too. Just
for
how
some
like
overs.
yeah, just for like props to
I'm
look
gonna
at.
mention one game I just caught my eye, and then I should wrap up NFL. Tennessee, San Francisco. The over under is 44 and a half. You know I'm an unders guy, so I'm looking at the under.
I love
Tennessee
that.
and this game could be so fucking. It could be 9-11, dude.
Yeah,
This could be like turn off the game in 5 minutes type
yeah,
garbage ball. And I'm a Niners fan, but we're 9-4 by like defense and like I don't. It doesn't feel like we're 9-4. You know what I mean? Like it feels like we're basically playing the same season the Panthers have played in terms of
yeah, yeah,
consistency and quality of play. It's just that we have like 10 times the quality of roster, so it's kind of fucking
mhm,
pathetic.
yeah,
And then maybe they turn it on and they smoke them 37-3, and we still hit the under 44. Like,
yeah,
I think I love the under in that game, 44 and a half, minus 108. So you're getting 2 extra cents. Never hurts.
yeah,
Yeah, pretty good game. Honestly, a lot of good games this weekend. I mean, if we were
yeah,
closer
yeah.
to the weekend, we'd have more. But that's yeah. All right. Guess I'll jump into some CFP storylines and then we'll wrap up. Um, yeah, so the brackets came out. Obviously, Notre Dame's the big story, the big loser. Kind of a double edged sword for me because in my preseason rankings, I basically said after they lost, or it was week 2 or 3 rankings after they lost that hey, they're gonna come out win 10 in a row, and then they're gonna end up being a top 10 team, and they're gonna get into the playoff. And I was kind of right until the committee actually had common sense and was like, hey, this team had like they lost the only 2 good teams they played. They've played USC and then haven't played like a they played like the number 30 something team and haven't played a top 50 team other than that. And then their athletic director came out and said that they just went on one of the greatest 10 game runs in football history when the 13-0 Indiana Hoosiers are in the same fucking state. So
Yeah.
yeah, like everyone's like, dude, you didn't even go on the base. It's just the best run in the state of Indiana. Like it's just a clown show. So yeah, Notre Dame didn't deserve to make it. I'm glad with what the committee did. I don't think Miami necessarily deserved to make it, but there are some hard
Neither
decisions
do
to
I.
make.
I
Bama's
agree.
really
But
the only team.
I'm glad. Yeah, I'm so glad that they didn't make it. Like,
Yeah,
I agree. Like you make your own schedule. You're not in a conference. You're just picking and choosing who you're
yeah,
playing.
right. They
And
don't get to complain.
and it's like and then their coach came out and said, "Hey, we're withdrawing from a bowl."
Yeah,
It's like one, there's a bunch of seniors on that football team who are never gonna play football again. And your last chance to play bowl, have fun, show some competitive spirit. But no, you're being a sore loser. You didn't make it to the thing, thinking, "Hey, I'm better than that. I'm better to play a pitiful bowl." But no, you're not. You pick and
it's
choose
the
your schedule.
NIL attitude, man. It's becoming a business. They don't give a fuck about the players anymore. It's not about it's
Exactly, it's
yeah,
crazy.
it's
But
pathetic.
I think that's just, like, such a
I'm
sorry.
more glad they didn't make it because of how they responded. I That's kind of like
Yeah,
where I
I agree.
and because I honestly like yes, I would rather. I think they're a better team than Miami. I think that them and Alabama are the right teams to make it. But if you want like the best teams, but this is not about the best teams. That's not how college football works. Single matchups, even ones in the first 3 weeks of the season, make an impact in a way that other sports it doesn't, right? And so you gotta weight that. So now, I mean, looking at it's very SEC biased, this playoff picture, but I kind of agree with that. I just think the SEC is the best division. I I forgot who it was, but maybe it was Caleb Downs. Was he the one? It was this guy. He played for Alabama and then went up to Ohio State, and he was basically like, yeah, Ohio State, you got to prepare. You got to actually prepare for 3 or 4 games. When you're in Alabama, you got to prepare for every game. And it's like, yeah, even if you're playing
Yeah.
Kentucky or you're playing, like, I don't know. Because now Vandy, all the teams are good. I mean, you're playing Arkansas, I guess they're a wash. But, like, at the end of the day, SEC football is a completely different story. So I think these teams are more battle tested. The question usually that becomes interesting is whatever the big dog in the Big Ten is, plays a different style of football. And SEC teams are super accustomed to winning SEC football, and they've had some trouble recently when they come against Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, Indiana. So I agree with the way that the playoff picture is created, but now I think these SEC teams they're gonna have to learn how to play against Big Ten teams, and that was a
Yeah.
thing that happened last year in the playoff, and that was a big storyline. Like, hey, these South teams are going up north, and it wasn't as dramatic as everyone said, but there comes a time where Big Ten football is a very different style of football than like the SEC. So that'll be interesting to look at. I mean, you've got some basic matchups. Alabama, number 9 at Oklahoma. That's kind of the one I've got written down, and that's going to be fucking awesome. And the winner plays Indiana. So you've got 2 great games lined up there. I think Alabama's a better team than Oklahoma. I think
I
they'll.
agree, I agree.
Did
I think just,
they
like, looking
played
at it,
them and lost
especially
to
just,
them?
like what?
I think they might have played them and lost to them earlier in the season,
They did.
but
Yeah.
yeah. I think they're the better team. I think Kalen, like DeBoer is the type of guy where it's like every single week I trust him more, even though like a lot of dumb shits happened with Alabama. I mean, he was so good in Washington. He was so good with like the D2 program or whatever that he was undefeated with before. He's like Kurt Signetti kind of, except he didn't go
Yeah,
13-0 when he showed up at Bama. I still
yeah.
believe that he's gonna turn them into that,
Figure it
and
out
it
eventually.
gets better as the season goes. And that Georgia game was not really cause for concern. It was just kind of like, hey, shit, Georgia's still a legit team. I had them power ranked number 1 preseason, and I think they're one of the top 3 to win the championship.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean JMU, Oregon. I don't really know anything about JMU. I assume Oregon's going to take care of business. You got Tulane, Ole Miss. Expect Ole Miss to take care of business. And then Miami, Texas A&M. That's the hardest game on this for me to kind of say what I think of because Texas A&M, they looked good against Texas, and then it kind of like fell apart. And I don't think Texas is as good of a team as a lot of people think they do. They just got Arch Manning and Steve Sarkisian play calling like an absolute madman. But I don't think A&M is as good
Yeah,
as
I
they.
think
I think they kind of peaked. And it might be a hot take, and they might just run to the finals. But I think they kind of peaked, and I think I'm going against almost history, but Miami, you've got this like veteran QB. He's been in this position. He was on Georgia. Like this is his time to be like, hey, I'm gonna take care of business. At least one game, at least one fucking game, right? He's got to
exactly,
take care of
exactly.
business. Texas A&M, I just don't really understand their identity as much. I mean, they were a great team. I did not have them even in my top 25. They were at like number 30 preseason. So I'm wrong about them, and that's why I'm scared to bet against them. So I'm kind of
Yeah.
going against my history here, but I agree with you. Like this is still a great team, number 10 seed. Texas A&M, I don't fully believe they're a top 3, 4, 13-1 type team.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
I
So
think, like, it's, like, very cliche to say, but I think obviously the 9 and 8 and the 10 and 7 are gonna be the 2 best games.
yeah,
Obviously, Tulane's gonna get blown out of the water by Ole Miss, and JMU shouldn't even be a team in the playoffs.
Tulane's fun, and then JMU is just like, oh,
Exactly. But I think, like you said, I think A&M's peaked currently. They've made it as far as they could possibly go, and they're like, "Hey, if I lose this game, I made it to the playoffs. If we
yeah, they
win,
had like
that's
the
even
best
better."
season in team. Yeah, it's still a great
Exactly.
season.
But Miami, on the other hand, like, wow, we squeaked back in. We've beat some good teams. We've lost some okay teams. We haven't been playing to our full playoff caliber, which we should be.
Mhm.
But I think, yeah, if there's an edge on Miami, I think you should maybe look at it. They have a lot
Last
more to play for.
last point to bring in though that just brought me back to Texas A&M. Coaching, man. I love Mike Elko. Like when went to Texas A&M, I was like, this program's about to turn around, and then it fucking turned
Mhm.
around. And so it's funny that I don't think they're that good, but now I'm kind of like looking back at it. I'm like, hey, maybe this is the coach. This is the coach has created an incredible program here, and I mean, Mike Elko's awesome. I don't. Miami's coaching has been very, very suspect, and even led to like some questionable decisions and losses. So
Yeah.
coaching also comes out very, very important, especially in your first playoff game, the first round of
Exactly.
playoffs. So much prep,
Exactly.
right? So yeah, it's the hard game to call for me. It's like, is it the coach that I'm going to buy? Then I'm on one side, or is it, hey, I think the veteran QB is going to come and take care of business. But yeah,
Yeah.
great. That's going to be a good game to watch.
Yeah.
All right, I think that basically wraps it up for most of the main stuff. So
Yeah, overall, if you stuck around with us, we appreciate you. We're just getting this thing rolling. We hope to get an episode out each week, and we've got a ton more in store, and we can't wait to dive into. So yeah, enjoy the game, stay safe, and hopefully your pockets are plentiful. And we'll see you next week on narratives, numbers, and nonsense.